The channel community has voted, and the results are in. With the majority of votes in the recent community poll requesting another budget build video, I come before you today to say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the One Divine Challenge. I'm your host, Extra Mayo, and today's build showcases the Exploding Totem Pathfinder. Without further ado, let's get started. The Exploding Totem build is a brand new archetype that was introduced this patch through a Crucible weapon modifier. The modifier causes totems to explode, dealing a percentage of their life as physical damage. The build shown today will only be using a single one-handed weapon with 300% totem life as damage. However, this modifier also exists on two-handed weapons, which can roll up to 600% of totem life as damage to potentially reach absurd levels of damage. We'll be leveraging these large bursts of physical damage to apply poisons to enemies, allowing us to stack a lot of damage in a very short window of time. This single Crucible mod is enough to carry the entirety of the build's damage, and we're able to clear nearly all content in the game on just a 4-link. Consequently, we're able to use the majority of our currency to invest into defenses. Our 4-link totem setup will be placed in the unique boots March of the Legion. Since Rejuvenation Totem has the Aura tag, these boots provide +5 to the gem level, acting as a pseudo-empower support gem. Scaling the totem's gem level will scale its life, which in turn scales our damage. Before we continue, let's quickly cover one of the major defensive layers of the build, which is physical damage conversion. The reason we are converting incoming physical damage from hits to elemental damage is because when we do so, we're able to apply our elemental resistances to those hits, reducing the damage taken by upwards of 75%. This allows us to mitigate some of the strongest physical damage hits in the game, such as the infamous Shaper Slam. Additionally, it provides defense against physical hits without needing to invest into armor. Our method of converting 100% of physical damage from hits comes from an assortment of several different gear pieces. To complete the 100% conversion for this gear loadout, we'll need to craft a helmet that has at least 13% conversion. Let's go over how to craft the helmet. The crafting method for obtaining 13% conversion will require both an implicit and a suffix on the helmet. First, choose a helmet that has at least one open suffix and is at least item level 75. Then, use Lesser Eldritch Ichor until you roll one of the Fire, Cold, or Lightning conversion modifiers. The odds of this are approximately 1 in 11 attempts. Once the implicit is secured, craft the other portion of physical conversion on your crafting bench. Note that this bench craft is not available unless you've unlocked it from a veiled helmet of the Syndicate member Karel. Now we've completed the puzzle, and with this helmet, have 100% physical damage from hits converted to elemental damage. To finish your gear, head over to the crafting bench and craft increased trap throwing speed on your weapon, as well as on your amulet if you have an open suffix. For the amulet Anoint, I recommend Primal Manifestation for a huge boost to totem life at a very low cost. However, the amulet Anoint is completely optional. Here's a list of what Flask affixes you'll need for this build to function properly. It's very important that you ensure all of your flasks have at least 20% quality and have the Reuse at the end of Flask effect enchantment for smooth automation. The total cost of this project at current market prices was 203 chaos. You can drive the cost of the build even cheaper if you'd rather not invest as heavily into defensive layers such as physical damage conversion. If you plan on using this character exclusively for bossing, I recommend transitioning into using a bow with a 600% totem life modifier in the future. Regardless, this build is very flexible to gear and will perform well no matter which totem explode modifier you choose. Our chosen Ascendancy points are standard for any poison damage focused Pathfinder. As we briefly review the skill tree, you'll notice that the main focus for the tree is securing our defensive layers via spell suppression, flask buffs, and increased maximum life. We're also picking up the required nodes to get us up to 100% chance to poison, and taking any efficient damage nodes along our path. Let's discuss how Totem Explode actually works in practice. With the special Crucible modifier on our weapon, when a totem expires or dies, it will explode and do physical damage in an area. Furthermore, when a totem is replaced, it is also considered to be destroyed, which triggers the explosion mechanic. Now, since the default maximum number of totems any Exile can summon is 1, any totems that surpass that limit of 1 will result in totems being destroyed until only 1 remains. This rule applies to totems summoned by any means, to include those summoned by traps. Armed with this knowledge, our objective is to summon as many raw totems as possible, which we achieve by linking the skill to trap support, and then linking additional support gems that increase the number of traps thrown. This allows us to maximize our output of totems, and all but one of them will explode and do damage for us. Combine this with additional trap throwing speed, and we can consistently produce upwards of 20 exploding totems in 1 to 2 seconds. The general playstyle of this build is singularly focused. Throw your traps at everything. You can use your shield charge for mobility, and Plague Bearer to augment your map clear. For additional single target damage, activate your Divine Blessing Malevolence and cast your Despair Curse. So there you have it, the Exploding Totems Pathfinder for under 1 Divine. The POB for this character will be linked in the description below. If you like this channel's content, feel free to follow the channel and vote in future community polls for the next videos. Enjoy the upcoming gameplay demonstration, and I will see you all in the next video.
toy must enjoy our contests, for it continues to play. You and I should do this again soon.